I am doing a 9th grade or an Algebra 1 lesson on the transformations on a graph. And my teaching strategy is a math response journal. So I just have my little cute introduction slide. I am at work right now, so I'm sorry if there are kids screaming in the hallway. Over here, I have my goals for the day. This is just so students can kind of know ahead of time what the expectations are. And then I have my agenda. That allows students to understand how we're going to reach those goals, and it just is a nice thing to follow along just to see where we're at with time. All right, so we have our matching review because in previous lessons we have learned how to graph parent functions. I'm just going to touch on it a little bit because it is super important, but it's just like a little drag matching, kind of like a game type thing. Students will drag the parent function to its name and the graph. That'll keep it fun, exciting, hands-on, but still it will activate that prior knowledge that we do need. So getting into our actual lesson, we will start with vertical transformations or up and down. So right here I just have how to tell if it's an up, how to tell if it's a down, and then we have an example with a parent function in red and then 2 transformations, an up and a down. And I also have my example written in words just because not every student will learn from pictures and not every student will learn from words, so I like to have them both. I also have a memorization tip. One of the only ways to truly understand transformations is to memorize the basic steps, the basic guidelines. So the outside is true. If our sign and our constant are on the outside, we're going to listen to the sign. So if it says plus, we're going to move up, down, we're going to move down. As we're going through this slide, students will already have this worksheet at their desk, just split into up and down. They'll just be writing examples, important stuff that we go through on the slide. So now we're going to be in our horizontal transformations. Again, how to tell if it's a right, how to tell if it's a left, an example with our parent function, and then 2 transformations, and our example in words over here. And then our memorization tip is the inside lies. So if our sign and our constant are inside the parentheses, we're going to do the opposite. So if it says plus 2, we'll actually subtract 2. If it says minus 2, we'll actually add 2. And again, another worksheet, identical, just split into left and right this time. So then we will be getting into our first kind of activity. Students will have 5 minutes, so I will have this timer up on the board. It does play like little subtle like classical music in the background. And so all of these graphs will be cut out, and there will be groups of 4. Each group will get 1. They will have the 5 minutes to graph parent function, and then the average is about 2 transformations. So after the 5 minutes, they will meet with other people of other groups, and they will have the job of explaining their graph and how they got their graph to the other group members. That way, everyone's getting an idea of how to graph each parent function, but we're fitting it within the timeline that we have. So getting into our strategy, it's a math response journal. So our journal, I kind of try to keep it cute. So it'll look like this, already be at their desk. And in our thought bubble here, they're going to tell me what they struggled with most in this lesson. Then over here, they're going to graph a parent function, which is review. And then down here, they're going to graph the parent function, but with 2 different transformations. And then I also have a task for them to try to write a new equation for the function, which we did not cover, but I'm using that as just to see where the students stand on that, just to see, because that will be coming up in the next few lessons. So as they're doing that, I'll just have the directions on the board, again with a disclaimer that we haven't learned that, but it's just for me to see. After we finish that, I will start discussing what our extra credit opportunity is. So if students come in tomorrow and give me an example of a graph in quadrant 2, and then do any type of transformation we learned that day to change it to quadrant 4, they can get extra credit. And then just to wrap it up, I'll tell them like tomorrow we're going to review our transformations, and then we're going to introduce the concept of writing the new equation of a function, which is why it was on that journal.